All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances.
Keep going, nobody knows.
I can't work under these conditions. I need to start again.
Okay, start again.
Line.
All the world's a stage.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his act being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewing and puking in the nurse's arms.
Puking doesn't really say puking.
You think this great?
Oh, it does.
Line.
And then the whining schoolboy.
And then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school.
I can relate to that.
What?
I can relate to that. Creeping like snail and willingly to school. I did that.
You have to do what?
I had to walk to class every morning, even when it was blizzard and 10 below 0. Every morning I had to walk to class.
Really?
Yeah, I've been child abuse too, except I was homeschooled. But man, getting from my bedroom to the living room, it's tiring me out.
Line.
Then the lover.
Then the lover, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eye. What's so funny?
Made to his mistress's eyebrow. Eyebrow?
Eyebrow. He's singing a love song made to his lady's eyebrow.
Oh, me?
What do you mean?
Eunice the unibrow? And with Dolly, 2 eyes or 2 lips or 1 giant thick eyebrow. She must be from South Dakota.
Stop. I did take 8 years of acting school to perform a vaudeville routine with an unpaid intern. Now then, where was I?
We're busy yelling at him.
No, where was I in the script?
Then a soldier.
Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the par. Jealous in honor, studying quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. What on earth is going on?
Maybe they're rehearsing a sword fight scene from Hamlet.
They didn't have any swords.
People do anything with Shakespeare these days.
You got that right. I once saw a production of the first part of Henry VI set on Mars with actors in leotards and green face and a battle scene with laser guns.
Oh, that's cool.
No, Larry, it wasn't cool. That's why I started my own traveling Shakespeare company. I want to get to the essence of these lines. I want substance. I want meaning. I want truth, beauty, and goodness.
I want to get paid.
And you will, Larry. I'm certain this theater will turn a profit someday.
Oh, well, I don't mean to be doubtful, sir, but people don't really like Shakespeare. I mean, it's hard to understand him. Here, look later in your speech, blah, 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 blah. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose well saved. A world too wide for his shrunk shape. What the heck is a shrunk shape?
It's a shame that's shrunk.
That explains it.
Look, Larry, this is one of the most brilliant speeches in all of Shakespeare. It's about the life of men in microcosm.
What?
In microcosm.
Is that in South Dakota?
It's looking at the life of men as if he were playing a series of parts. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in his nurse's arms.
Puking I get, but what is mewling?
Then the recalcitrant schoolboy. Then the irascible lover. Then the avid lover, and then the irascible soldier. Eventually, he slips into late middle age with his hose, meaning his stockings, which men wore in those days. With his hose, a world too wide for his shrunk shank. In other words, way too big for his leg, which in his old age has become shrunken and atrophied. Now do you understand?
I understand everything except calcitrant, avid, arousal, and atrophy. Larry, that's just plain English. Yeah, but like no one talks like that, you know?
Larry, if I can't reach you, how am I gonna reach my audience?
Hey, look, I'm just thinking. Look, you're a smart guy. You're Prospero T. Barnaby, the greatest Shakespeare actor the world's ever known.
And manager of a threadbare company trying to drum up some business by putting on free shows in the park where we don't even have a license to perform, just trying to bring a little culture into the world.
Cheer up. Be like Shakespeare. Be jolly. Shakespeare loved theater and he loved life. And if show business teaches us anything, it teaches us that there's always a happy ending. I mean, come on. Look at the end of your script. Look here.
Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Sans means without.
So it means...
Yes, it means without teeth, without eyes, without taste. It means without everything.
So death is just nothing? Just mere oblivion?
Or worse, Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. As Hamlet says, the death may only be the beginning of our troubles.
Wow. Well, when you put it that way. Well, you may be miserable and broke and bound for oblivion, but at least somewhere in the world there's love.
Oh, there's love, all right. But that's in Hopkins.
Hopkins? Mr. Barnaby!
Hey, Cassio! What's the matter with you two? Mr. Barnaby, sir, we've got to leave. Leave?
There's trouble, or worse. We've got to run.
From what? Women! Well, that makes some sense, but...
They look like legal types.
Lawyers? Are they trying to shut us down for not having a license? Is that it? Trying to censor us? Are they afraid of great art?
No.
Well, gentlemen, this is a free country. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression. They can't run us out of town for not having a license.
Yeah, Mr. Barnaby's right.
What do they think this is? Nazi Germany? The Soviet Union? Canada? Now I'm going to march down to City Hall and demand to speak with the mayor and stand up for our rights.
But sir, it's not about that. You see, they were looking for Larry.
For Larry. For my unpaid intern, Larry. Why would that be?
Well, I do have a bench worn out for ignoring a few parking tickets. And I have a restraining order against me at Hopkins. Yeah. I can't go within 500 yards of Hopkins. But you'd be surprised how much money you can have 500 yards out of Hopkins.
Well, it's simple. We'll let them extradite Larry to Hopkins, and we'll pick up a few bookings on him. Larry, you have nothing to fear except psychic childishness and mere oblivion.
And Hopkins. Sir, it's not that simple.
What do you mean?
They want to find Larry, so Larry will lead them to you. They have a piece of paper and an envelope with your name on it.
This is something I better run.
Oh, Mr. Barnaby, what about standing up for your rights?
Gentlemen, let me be straight with you. I owe money to a lot of people. I haven't paid a single hotel bill since we've been on the road. I've been using food stamps to feed the company. I have more debt than the combined nations of the entire European Union. I even owe Larry money, and I'm not even paying him.
Doesn't make sense.
Sir, don't run. Think of theater. Think of art. Think of show business.
Think of 3 men and an unpaid intern performing Shakespeare on the run with no budget and no hope for future bookings.
What of that? What difference do our numbers make? What difference does success or failure? Think of St. Crispin.
Right, St. Crispin.
Think of what?
The St. Crispin stage speech. Henry V, Act 4, Scene 3. King Henry faces certain defeat. His puny force about to be crushed by a much larger army. He speaks to his men before the battle.
If we are willing to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if we live, the pure men, the greater share of honor, God's will I pray thee, wish not one man more.
Fine, I'm happy with the size of our troop, but a bigger budget sure would be nice.
By Jove, I'm not covetous for gold, but if it be a sin to covet honor, I'm the most offending soul alive.
Yes, I covet honor too, the honor of doing good work, but this has become a never-ending battle, a battle we are bound to lose.
He would just have no stomach to the fight. Number 2, his passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We would not die in this man's company that fears his spouse will die with us.
Hey, it's not fear, it's...
This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe on this day is stand and arouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say tomorrow is St. Crispian.
And he will strip his sleeves and show his scars and say, I had these wounds on Crispin's day. Old men forget, they all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what deeds he did that day. Then shall names familiar in his mouth as household words. Jason, Warwick, President, romantically.
Castile Schultz, supporting actor.
Prospero T. Barnaby, Managing Director.
Ooh, Larry XY Z. Under intern.
The end of phone cups, fresh remember. The story shall the convention son. And Crispin, shall never go by from this day to the end of the world. But we in it shall be remembered.
We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that shed his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now bet shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhood sheepless, and he speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispian's day.
Bravo, bravo, you've convinced me. I'm committed. I'm staying. I'm in.
Prospero T. Barnaby!
I'm out of here.
Sir, don't run. What about St. Crispin? What about honor? What about valor?
As Falstaff said, the better part of valor is discretion, in which better part I have saved my life. The first part of Henry IV, Act something or other, scene whatever. Farewell, gentlemen. Larry, you're in charge till I return.
We're going away?
Don't think of it like that. As it says in A Winter's Tale, exit, pursued by a bear.
Neither of you look like bears.
I'm Dunning. This is Burke. We're from Dunning & Burke. It's a law firm. Who was that guy who ran away?
Don't you know?
We're looking for Prospero T. Barnaby, the manager of your troop. Have you seen him?
Not recently.
That is not very recently.
Unless you count the last 5 seconds as very recently.
Who are you anyway?
I'm in charge.
What?
I'm in charge, the big guy gets back.
Who?
Prospero T. Barnaby, the leader of our troop.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Barnaby.
No, what I meant to say is our leader's name is Prospero T. Barnaby.
Oh, and you're the leader? Great. We've got something for you, Mr. Barnaby. It's from an angel.
An angel?
A backer, a donor, a very wealthy person who prefers to remain anonymous.
Anonymous? Guys, that sounds really bad.
Well, in this case, it's really good.
You read it?
We wrote it. I wrote it. It says Dunning and Burke on it, so we both take credit for it. I was part of the partnership agreement I wrote. Remember? I thought we both wrote the partnership agreement.
Maybe you should just go figure this out a little more.
Never mind that. What does the letter say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow! Someone has offered to fund all our Shakespearean productions. To the tune of $500,000?
What?
That's right, and your anonymous donor has wired the money to City Hall, where you can go and claim it. We'll escort you to the mayor's office so you can pick up the check.
Wait a minute, that's why you've been lurking around medicine because you have money for us?
Why didn't you tell us?
Sir, we run district orders to speak to one man and one man only, Mr. Prospero T. Barnaby, or his unpaid intern, Larry.
That's 2 men, technically.
Why do you need Barnaby why do you need Barnaby to sign the papers?
Because Mr. Barnaby is the only one who can sign for the check. Without him, the money goes back to the person who donated.
So only Mr. Barnaby can see the money?
Yep, it's a good thing we found him.
Mr. Barnaby, I've been a fan of yours for a long time.
That's right, Mr. Barnaby.
He's a big fan of yours, Mr. Barnaby.
Well, I'm pleased to hear it. So there's no problem if we continue with our production in Gallaudet Park?
Forget about Gallaudet Park. It's Gallaudet Theater for you.
Or even Gallaudet Opera House.
That's right, money changes everything. From here on out, you and your actors will be the toast of the town.
It's not the first time I've been toast.
What a card.
Yeah, real joker.
Linda's right, Mr. Barnaby.
We've got ourselves a Trump hand.
Yeah, but come on, really?
Mr. Barnaby's a rare loss for words.
Perhaps some words from Shakespeare would serve this auspicious occasion.
Yes, the council's grades. Avid, irascible, and atrophy.
That's why we enjoy working with him. He's so funny.
Mr. Barnaby,
Mr. Barnaby. Yes,
now that you're in charge of a well-funded Shakespearean theater company, I was wondering if you might be interested in holding an audition right now.
an audition, but there's no one here to audition. Unless you're an actress in addition to being a lawyer?
Well, I am actually. Yes, would you like to see my audition?
She's really good. She's great at Shakespeare.
Maybe you could put me in your next production.
Well, why don't you audition for me after we go pick up that check at City Hall?
No, this will only take a minute. You'll love it. Yes, I'll be doing Act Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 1, where the gentleman and the doctor spy on Macbeth's sleepwalking. You know the scene, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Great scene.
What's your favorite part of it?
Well, I really like the beginning. The middle part was even better, but the end, glorious.
Mr. Barnaby, you're such a scholar. That's exactly the way I feel.
Wait a minute, that scene has 3 characters. How are you going to do it?
Well, my daughters will help me.
Your daughters?
Rose, Lily, get in here.
Your daughters will be helping you?
Yes, and here they are now. I'm Rose, and I'll be the doctor. I'm Lily, and I'll be the gentlewoman.
Well, hello. Jason, I think my new favorite flower is a lily.
You're wrong. My new favorite flower is a rose.
My favorite flower.
May we begin our audition?
Yes, of course.
Well, to set the scene, Lady Macbeth has convinced her husband to kill King Duncan, so that he, Macbeth, can become king of Scotland. But even after becoming king, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are never satisfied. They have to kill one victim after another to secure their hold on the throne. And well, eventually, Lady Macbeth starts feeling the effects of this. She's sleepwalking and showing how deeply her conscience bothers her. Meanwhile, the doctor and the gentleman, played by my 2 daughters, observe from a distance.
And now the scene begins. Lights, camera.
I have 2 nights watched with you and can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty entered the garden, I have seen her rise from her bed, roll her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, and afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, yet all while in most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her,
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
neither to you nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my wife, fast asleep. Observe her stood by her. She was led by her continually. She is her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action to see us washing our hands. I have known it to continue this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot. Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2, why 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and fear? What need we fear who knows it, when no one can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? Do you mark that? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. Immoral started.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh, oh.
What a sigh is there, the heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well,
Pray God at least.
this disease is beyond my practice. Yet, I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died wholly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave.
Even so,
To bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, come, come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed.
will she now go to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has made it and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bravo!
Thank you, I thank you.
Doctor, you're brilliant.
Gentlemen, you are fabulous.
And what was I? Chopped liver?
Hey, that reminds me, I haven't had lunch yet.
I will take you out, Mr. Barnaby. We'll take you to the best restaurant in town. Am I hired? Do I get the part?
The doctor definitely does.
And her sister.
And what about me? I'd kill for the part of Lady Peck. I'd kill for her. You see? Typecasting.
I'm not sure about that mother.
I'm not sure about her. Think about it, Mr. Barnaby.
Well, in the end,
We've decided
that we will cast.
Oh, none of you. What? We will cast none of you.
Literally. I mean, Mr. Barney. You know what you were saying?
I know what this letter is saying. We get the donation on one condition, that we adhere to the production standards of Elizabethan England. And that means
no women.
How can there be no women? Shakespeare is full of ladies' roles.
Although I admit, I wish there were more.
No, you see, even though Shakespeare wrote parts for women characters in his play, in his day, all parts were played by men. All acting troops in Elizabethan England were banned.
Why?
It's religious, really.
Religious.
The drama is always religious. Theater has religious roots. Drama sprang up in ancient Greece as part of religious festivals, and it grew up many years later out of the Catholic liturgy. Bible stories were performed in churches as an aid for understanding Scripture, and these skits were performed by priests, who were all male. Later, when the skits moved outdoors as part of pageants and festivals, they remained religious. They told the story of salvation history, and the actors continued to be men. That was true even in Shakespeare's day, when the drama, though secular and formed outside of religious festivals and activities, remained true to its origins in expressing and understanding the faith.
The faith. What a joke.
Yes, well, I've been working on my friend Jason. I've been trying to show him how Catholic the imagination of Shakespeare really was.
Mr. Actor, sir.
Call me Cassio.
Cassio. When I studied Shakespeare as a freshman in college, Our teacher told us that Shakespeare plays are all about society oppressing the freedom of the individual, and about how everything is meaningless and God does not exist, and how it's all about fulfilling your own peculiar desires, however twisted they may be.
My lady.
Call me Lily.
Lily, that could not be further from the truth. The Globe Theater itself had a trapdoor leading below to an area from which ghosts and demons made their entrances and exits. It had a canopy above on which were painted stars and planets. It had a heaven above and a hell below. It was seen as presenting creation in microcosm.
In what?
In microcosm.
That's near self.
It's near insanity, if you ask me. Shakespeare was a materialist, a nihilist.
No, Jake, he was Catholic, and so were his plays.
Well, isn't there some disagreement as to what religion Shakespeare actually was?
The scene you just did, from the end of Macbeth, about the effects of sin. What's more Catholic than that?
Guilt and condemnation.
There's also mercy and forgiveness. Shakespeare demonstrates his Catholic faith when Portia explains the quality of mercy in The Merchant of Venice. The quality of mercy.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above the scepter's weight. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show like his gods, when mercy seasons justice.
I couldn't have done it better myself.
That's true. But who saw you on? You don't believe that Shakespeare was Catholic, do you?
Well, I don't know about that, but I think Castle has a point about Shakespeare understanding the church's concept of mercy.
But Shakespeare's philosophy isn't Catholic at all. He shows that life, just like theater, is nothing but empty illusions.
That's not entirely true.
And as for acting as well, there's Hamlet who observes. This goodly frame, the earth seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air looking this brave, overhanging firmament. This majestical roof, firm and gold firm. Why? It appears no one thing to me than that foul and pestilent, creation of vipers. What a piece of work is man. How noble reason, how infinite in faculty, in form, movement, how expressed in marvel. In action, how an angel, the apprehension of God, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet, to me, was this quintessence of dust.
Hamlet was depressed.
And Macbeth, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, creeps on this petty pace for a day. And all of our yesterdays have led fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle, life's or a walking shadow, a cold player that struts and frets its hour upon the stage, and then is turned more. Is a tale told by idiot, told sound of fear, seeking to find healthy.
Macbeth was in despair.
And King Lear, is man no more than this?
He's talking about a raving naked lunatic.
Consider well that always the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the sheep no wool, the cat no perfume. Thou art the thing itself. Unaccompanied man is no more than such a poor, bare, born animal as thou art. Ah, ladies, come on, what to do?
Keep your shirt on. You're keeping these all out of context. This scene is Lear as lowest. This is Lear falling into madness.
Castle, I've given you 3 brilliant performances. From Hamlet, from the Stars play, from the air.
I wonder that you should still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
Oh,
Nobody marks you. Nobody's listening.
what?
Much ado about nothing, you fool.
What do you do?
Act 1, Scene 1.
I said, I wonder that you should still be talking, Signor Benedict, and nobody marks you.
Why?
What, my dear Lady Disdain?
Right! What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible this lady should die while she has such meat food defeated as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy itself a turn, but it is certain I am most loved of all ladies. Only you expected, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not the heart, for truly I love her.
A dear happiness to women, else they would have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I know your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your relationship still in that mind, so some gentleman or others like see predestined scratch face.
Scratching could not make it worse if it were such a face as yours were.
More arms to a rare hair teacher.
A bird horse.
I would my horse have the speed of your tone, and so good a continuum. But I, keep me away, God's name I have done.
Well, I'm not done.
You always end with James Trick.
I know my line, but I'm improvising now. I'm off the script. For now, I have a question I must have answered in real life.
A question?
Are you true to your part? Are you the angry Hamlet, the hopeless Macbeth, the raving Lear? Are you the heroic man without a mate? Shall you, dear Jason Warwick Fresnel, like Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing, swear to die a bachelor?
Truly, Miss Thorne.
Rose.
Miss Rose. I would indeed sworn to that until recently.
How recently?
Very recently.
Ugh, my feet are killing me.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, she is here.
Well, it's her. Who her? I mean, her who? I mean, who is she?
Mr. Barnaby, don't you know who this is?
No.
It's Demonia Claymont Galladay, the richest woman in town.
Galladay Park,
Galladay Theater.
Galladay Opera House.
Mr. Barnaby, good sir. I'd like to introduce you to someone. It's me. I'm your goddess donor, darling.
Darling?
Ever since you left me at that stage door in Hopkins, I've been heartbroken. But you look so different now.
It's his makeup. He's not wearing his makeup right now.
Yes, of course, that explains it. I never saw you with your makeup off. Oh, I used to sit in the front row of every one of your performances. I was your biggest groupie. And now, I found you again. And now I'm funding your company. Now you work for me. Now that you've been bought and paid for with my lucrative donation, you'll be seeing a lot of me, both on stage and off.
What do you mean?
I prepared a Shakespearean audition piece, and when my darling casts me, I'm sure we'll be together forever.
But, Miss Galladay, you stipulated yourself that we can't cast any women.
Except for me. I'll be the only woman in the cast. That way, we eliminate all possibility of rivals, and I'll have this lovely fellow all to myself. Now, my audition begins.
No.
Why not?
Intermission! Yeah, it's time for intermission. Last time we were first in tables round eight. Larry, wait!
What do you mean, Larry?
We call each other by character names, and that's the party's like tonight. Larry.
Yeah, Larry from the Shakespeare play.
Henry Tempest.
Of course you Philistines. None of you know Shakespeare the way I do. Prospero, darling, come back!
You know, I don't really think we've been properly introduced.
I'll take care of that. Roman.
I'm Rose.
I'm Jason.
I'm Lily.
I'm Cassio. And I'm Prospero T. Barnaby. And I come back to stay.
What?
It's a madman.
It's a bump. A homeless madman bump.
Mad, you say?
Poor Tom ate a smooth frog with a toad.
The tadpole, the walrus, and the water.
And the furious heart and the dolphin where he just eats cowboys and salads.
Gross.
Swallows the old rat in the ditch dog.
Drinks the green mantle of the standing pool.
What are you talking to me? It's me. I'm Prospero T. Barnaby.
No! You're an imposter. We have 500 using the same stuff.
Away, fiend, away!
That was weird.
Yes. But did you see how they saved us from that madman?
I'm not so sure.
Bro, what are you talking about? We finally found some guys who like us and who are, well, excited.
There's that.
I like Cassio, and I think Cassio likes me back.
And I think Jason likes me, but I'd like to know if he really likes me.
And how are you gonna do that?
Put him to the test, and you should do the same thing with Cassio.
Why bother? I'll never see them again. They'll move on to the next town, they'll pack their bags. And if they come back next year, they'll try to call us and they won't have their phone numbers.
Unless
Unless what?
we could test the integrity of their intentions and travel the country with them, performing Shakespeare at the same time.
We can't do that. For one thing, our mother would never let us. And for another, except for Miss Galley, they only cast guys in their shows.
Exactly.
Rose, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking of As You Like It. I'm thinking of Merchant of Venice. I'm thinking of Twelfth Night, The Comedy of Errors. I'm thinking of nearly every comedy plot that Shakespeare's ever come up with.
What do you mean?
It's intermission, Lily. We've got a costume change coming, a big one.
A big one?
Let's show the men how it's really done.
And how do we do that?
By becoming men ourselves, disguises. We'll wear pants and a shirt, do something ugly with our hair, and some 5 o'clock shadow.
You mean play acting?
That's right. The play is the thing wherein we'll catch the conscience of the king.
Oh, or better yet, catch the intentions of the actors.
Right. I'll go from Rose to Rasco.
And I, Lily, to Ed.
Ed?
Yeah, Ed.
Okay, Ed.
Rose, do you really think you can pull this off? I mean, won't they see through disguises? Won't they realize Rose isn't Roscoe and Lily isn't Ed?
Well, they're actors and they're guys. Actors are not very bright, and guys never noticed anything.
Agreed, sister. Let's go.
For starters, you'll have to get rid of those silly girls. Oh, Miss Galley, they're getting along so well with my actors.
The money depends on it. Then you'll include me in your company.
Oh, we're only bare men.
I can play the role of any man. I played Caesar, Anthony, Othello.
Where was this?
At the Gallaudet Community Theater, of course.
Miss Galley, my actors hired 2 men during their mission. New guys, excellent actors. They look very feminine. They can play women's parts.
I want you to cast me in your troupe.
Oh, Miss Galley.
Here's my audition. It's from As You Like It. It's a scene where Rosalind tries to convince Orlando that she can cure him of love sickness. But Rosalind is disguised as a boy, and Orlando doesn't know. I'll be playing the girl disguised as a boy, and you'll play Orlando.
What?
Just go with it. Lights, camera.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Good soup. Are you he that hangs verses in the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell it to you deserves as well a dark house to live as madmen did. And the reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are allowed to. Yet I confess curing it by counts.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner, he used to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to me. At which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be feminine, changeable, longing enlightened, proud, fantastic, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part cattle of this color. Would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, then weep for him, then spit at him. Then I drove my suitor from a mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured her, and thus I will take it upon myself to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured so, youth.
I would cure you, would you but come every day to my cot to woo me?
Madame.
Will you woo me, Orlando, will you?
Miss Galley, I'm playing Orlando, not Mr. Barnaby.
But he'd be the perfect Orlando to my Rosalind, don't you think?
Well, the point of this play eludes me. Who is Rosalind anyhow?
Rosalind is a woman disguised as a man.
Who in Shakespeare's day would have been played by a man.
Who's playing a woman disguised as a man?
Exactly!
Oh, this makes no sense.
Shakespeare doesn't have to make sense. I'm a very good woman. I've been
that?
People don't really understand Shakespeare. They go to plays to be seen, to be fashionable, and be well thought of. But they don't actually understand what they're watching. What's the matter with you? You don't seem at all like you used to be.
Well, Miss Gallaudet, if you want to know the truth, I can't keep up this straight anymore. I've got to tell you the truth. I'm not the man you think I am.
What are you saying?
I'm trying to tell you. You can't use money to manipulate people. I can't hang around here pretending to be your dashing Orlando for all your make-believe Shakespearean love scenes. It's not who I really am.
But darling, that's who I'm paying you to be.
I'm not an actor, Miss Gallaudet.
You certainly are the best actor to ever play Hopkins.
That's not saying much. And besides, I'm not even the man you met in Hopkins.
You're certainly not. You used to love me then.
No, that's not what I mean. I've got to tell you who I really am. I'm really...
Prospero T. Barnaby!
You've got to come see your actors.
They're brilliant, man. The money you gave to the touring company is really paid off, Miss Gallaudet.
They've hired 2 new actors, young guys.
And they're great.
You've got to come see them. Come on.
Wonderful! The Gallaudet players make me proud. Come along, darling. Follow me.
Yes, dear.
Good evening. Well, you seem like a fine chap. You're an excellent actor. Now we've got you hired. Let's get started. Well, we're rehearsing the scene for Measure for Measure.
And which part shall I play?
Isabella.
A woman?
That's when we hired Ross, though. You're a young guy with techniques that will work well for Isabel, for instance.
Looks aren't everything, you know.
And a woman they are.
What do you mean? Do you mean a woman's looks mean more to you than what's in her mind? Than what's in her heart?
Come on, Ross. Look, you better be more worried about female psychology than male psychology right now. Because you're playing a woman, not that you're going to figure out how a woman thinks.
I'm not worried about that.
Now, this is a difficult scene. Evil Judge Angel was given Isabel a choice to either marry him or he'll kill her brother in jail.
Right, I know the play.
Well, it's a tough scene for modern audiences.
Why?
Well, in ordinary drama, you have to have conflict. But for modern audiences, there's no conflict in this play.
Of course there's conflict.
But the choice for Isabella is to either marry Angela or her brother dies. Gee, I wonder what she will pick.
But Isabella must guard her honor.
I'm sorry, her what?
If she gives in to Angelo, the sin is hers. But if he kills her brother, the sin is his. And sin is the worst thing in the world.
Worse than death.
Of course.
What makes you say that?
I'm Catholic.
It looks like I can't get away from Catholics today.
Maybe it is you who's trying to get away from the Catholic Church.
Oh, now we're off topic. I'm just saying that you think that Shakespeare's all about Catholicism. That's what I mean.
Because I pointed out that he's talking about sin.
What is with Catholics and sin?
Mr. Jason, you have a lot to learn. Come on, let's go over our lines.
Sure you're not playing Juliet? Oh no. Good. This is the famous balcony scene. Here, climb these stairs.
That's not very romantic.
It's showbiz. Imagination. That's half of what romance is.
Are you saying romance is make-believe?
Well, love is real, but I'm not so sure about romance.
Then does that mean...
Let's start. Enter Romeo. He soothes Juliet. But soft. Will light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and hell with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her best delivery is but sick and grief, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. True, the fair stars in all heaven, having some business to entreat her eyes. The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth red. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon that hand. Upon that hand that I might touch that cheek.
Ah me!
of heaven, unto the wide-open, wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds, and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, do thou no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? Thou which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Stop. I've often wondered about that. Do you think it's true?
Do I think it's true?
Would a rose by any other name still smell as sweet? What a beautiful name that is. Rose.
It's better than Roscoe.
Yes, it is, Ed, but a rose is not a Roscoe.
And a lily is not what a lily seems to be.
That makes no sense. Anyway, let's keep going.
Oh, what's in a name? Thou which we call a rose by any other name would smell sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, still retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo doth thy name, and for thy name which is no part of thee, take thee all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo. But that's a bit much, don't you think? Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized? I mean, can you really compare puppy love to the great sacrament purchased by the Lord of Christ?
It's simply Shakespeare's way of showing that Romeo's feelings for Juliet are one kind of idolatry than love. I mean, if Romeo had more sense, if Juliet had more sense, she'd put him to the test somehow to see if his love were really true, to see if it was close to the true love, to the love that gives itself entirely to the beloved, and that other great sacrament, the sacrament of marriage. But she's too stuck on him to care, and I can understand that, can't you, Romeo? Cassio.
Well, that does make sense. Say, you're not by any chance Catholic, are you?
Now, how many actors do you know that are Catholic? But enough about religion. Let's get to the part where they kiss.
Let's skip right past that part.
But,
Let's skip to the part where Embarrassing interrupts her.
Lily! But I don't like that part. Lily, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you. Mother, you've ruined everything.
So thrived my soul. A thousand times the worst to want thy life. Love goes towards love as schoolboys from the books, and love from love towards school with heavy looks.
I understand what's going on here. She probably wants you to follow her.
So, I have this great idea for an audition. It's a scene from Julius Caesar. When they see it, will cast me.
But you know the rules, Miss Gallagher said.
Miss Galladay said she'll force them to cast women. She said now that she's donated all that money, she can make that man do whatever she wants. She owns him now.
I suppose I can help you practice.
So go on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Ah, who calls?
Bid every noise be still. Peace, yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar, speak. Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
Some soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him.
Wait, someone is coming.
someone's really coming.
Sit here, darling. The rehearsal's about to start.
Yes, dear.
Think of how proud you'll be of our theater troupe, Mr. Prospero T. Barnaby.
No, it's not exactly our theater troupe.
And you're not exactly a prosperity. Barnaby, Larry.
Why who is this man?
He's a bum.
No, I'm.
Shut up, you crazy bum. The show's about to start.
Quiet, William. I'm the one in jail.
What?
I'm playing Fabio, Isabel's brother. It's measure for measure. To see which comes to visit in the jail.
Who?
Isabella, played by some great actor, Roscoe, somewhere or another. Oh, here he comes. Here she comes. Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Why, as all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for a swift ambassador, where you shall be in everlasting leisure. Therefore, your best appointment made with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Lord Angelo wants him dead. He'll be executed in the morning.
I know that. I'm a Shakespearean expert. I'm Prospero T. Barnaby.
No, you're not.
If I must die, I will part with everything bride and I'll give him my honor.
Dost thou think, Claudio, if I should yield him my honor, thou mightst be freed?
Oh heavens, it cannot be.
This night's the time I should do what I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Oh, were it but my life, I'd throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, dear Isabella.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
No.
Help! For you, not in front.
I'm already down. You're sitting on me.
Down in the plate.
He's too late.
Begin where you left off.
Sure, it is no sin. When the death is coming, it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he'd be so wise. Why would he for momentary trick be injured find? Oh, Isabella.
What's this, my brother?
Death is a fearful thing.
And shamed life a hateful.
Ah, to die and go when not where, to lie and cold obstruction into rot. This sense of a warm motion to become a heated cloud, and delight spirits to bathe in piercing flames, or to reside in lineaments of tempered ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown with restless violence around about the end of the world, or to be worse than words of those lawless innocent thoughts. Imagine Halloween, 'tis horrible, the weirdness moldable with worldly life that age, ache, and early imprisonment can lay on nature as a paradise, to what we hear of death.
This is bogus.
That's not true.
Bogus.
That's not even Shakespeare.
No, but it's in your heart, you coward. So Shakespeare is a nihilist and a cynic, is he? His voice is the voice of the madman Lear, the murderer Macbeth, the self-indulgent Hamlet.
Roscoe.
That's not Shakespeare. All that rotten stuff is you.
Oh, what is that?
Well, in your case, a self-centered materialist.
Boo, go back to the script. Oh, they're improvising. Look, I've been following along my prom book.
Alas, alas.
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save a brother's life? Nature dispenses with deeds so far that it becomes a virtue.
Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Is life more than nothing? Is sin now a virtue?
Improvising again.
Much virtue in if, as Touchstone says, and much vice. From my if, from my pretending, an ugly truth is shown. From my pretending, through my mask I see beneath your own, and to think I thought I loved you.
What? Roscoe?
I'm not Roscoe. I'm Rose, and I never want to see your false face again.
Rose? If Roscoe is Rose, then Ed must be...
This is casting insurance.
That's right, my friend. I'm a new man.
Friar Lawrence?
Yeah, just like the character in Romeo and Juliet. There's a real one in the friary downtown.
There's a Friar Lawrence in Romeo and Juliet? Then there is a Larry in Shakespeare!
What a romantic thing.
Seeing all these beautiful young people in love has made me realize something about my own behavior. We have talked very much about sin and very little about regret.
What's this you say?
You are love. I cannot buy you with money. Oh, I have been absolutely wretched. I have been ignorant and unkind. I hardly know what to do with myself except to leave here and change everything about myself. And I must admit, I have been behaving in a way that really does not befit me. Though now I have fancy clothes and money, I was once just a poor actress, struggling to make ends meet.
But you have money now, right?
So we will still get paid? Oh, the stupidity of people. I wish you lawyers would quit treating a woman in the midst of a conversion better than you treat homeless, toothless soothsayers.
I'm not a soothsayer.
And I'm not really a lawyer.
Neither am I. Dunning & Burke is actually an accounting firm.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Whatever the case may be, I'm making some significant changes in my life. I'm giving all my money to charity, to a certain Shakespearean theater troupe. Don't worry, there'll be no strings attached this time.
I'm not Mr. Barnaby.
And I'm not really soothsayer.
I must confess, I'm not actually Prospero T. Barnaby, theatrical impresario.
And I'm not really a soothsayer.
Oh, Cassio.
Oh my goodness, this is outrageous.
Hey, I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not a soothsayer.
Let's go home, girls. I'll make a hot dish. You can bring the boys and have a great time.
Ooh, a party! Miss Gal, are you coming? I could always bring you as my date.
No, I'm thinking of getting me to a nunnery. I've been scorned in love after all, and a monastic life really would be the best thing for me.
Over my dead body?
What? Who are you?
He's a soothsayer.
I keep trying to tell you, I'm not really the soothsayer.
Then who are you really?
Well, Larry, I probably shouldn't say.
Well, if you're the soothsayer, say it. Say the soup. The whole soup.
You want the soup? You can't handle the soup.
Or soup!
I can't take it anymore. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Prospero T. Barnaby, and I've come back to stay.
Hey! That's just how Act 1 ended.
Darling.
Darling?
Hawkins, Larry, Hawkins.
Prospero, I've been waiting for you all these years.
I'm sorry I ran on you in Hopkins, darling. And I'm sorry I ran on you on the road. Cassio, Jay, and Larry.
Yeah, that's okay, boss. It'll work out.
But Larry, I made you my steward and you made a mess of things. I told you I would come back. I left you in charge while I was gone. And what did you do? You pretended to be me. And you nearly ran my theater into the ground. All out of selfishness and greed. And when I came back as my own messenger, my own prophet, announcing my own return.
Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel upon its head. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. As you like it, Act 2. And this is Act 2 for us, Prospero, and I hope you will like it.
Well, this is all an outgrowth. It's all deeply symbolic farce, and you all look foolish.
And you, my friend, look the worst of all.
You look like a man without a soul.
A man without a heart.
Worst of all, man without a wife.
Jason, will you admit that there's more to Shakespeare than you used to believe?
A lot more.
A lot more to life?
Well, okay. Maybe I've been a bit selfish. Maybe life is more than just getting what you want. Maybe death is more than just rotting in the grave. Maybe Shakespeare is about what any good Catholic should be about.
And what's that?
Love and meaning, divinity that shapes our ends, rough human as they grow, and heaven and hell, and, well, it's all in Shakespeare. You should read it.
Rose, it's not the most poetic of speeches, but it is heartfelt.
So, Roscoe, Rose, Beatrice, what say you?
Sister, speak.
Don't be a fool. Answer me. Life is more than various of options.
Will you speak to me? Will you speak from your heart as I have from mine?
Line.
What?
I'm searching for a line. What are those lines Beatrice says in Much Ado? I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield, upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
What was on his bed, it says?
Oh, I can look him up for you.
No, I remember. He says, peace, I will stop your mouth.
Kisses her. Kisses her. Be cheerful, sir. Our rebels now are in. These are actors, as I have told you. We're all spirits, and they're melted into air, into thin air, and like the faceless fabric of his vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye all which inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. For we are such stuff that dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with the